Okay guys, John here. Right, so for the 5th time I've had a CDER Group bailiff come out to the house about Birmingham Caz charges. And I'll just run you through what's been going on. I've got some notes here. So, 2 times in the past, I'd forgotten to put the £8 on in time on the computer to pay for being in the zone. And I ended up sending £60 cheques to them when they sent fines to me. A few months down the line, having not heard anything, the council wanted £180 for each one, claiming that I hadn't paid. And I sent replacement cheques for £60 with a letter, and they refused to accept them. One of those times, I asked them to take me to court, and they did. They processed a proper small claims track. And the court wrote to me in the normal way, and I defended the claim, remaining in honour, and sent a new cheque for £60 to the court. But the court sent it back to me, saying they're not the ones that received the money, it has to go to the council. And they set the matter aside, and on that particular case, the council gave in. Then another time, the council claimed I was in the Caz zone on a day when I was actually shooting a wedding and coming back from Gretna Green, which is at the very top of England on the Scottish border. And they were lying, because obviously in that case I was nowhere near, and it turned into CDER Group action. Enforcement came out, got nothing again, and left. Now this particular matter, what they've claimed is I was inside the Caz zone, but the cameras actually saw me on the Birmingham Ring Road, which is the border for the Caz zone. Everything inside the Birmingham Ring Road is the chargeable zone, and everything outside of it, including the Ring Road, isn't. And the council have got it in for me because there's been 4 times, I think now, where they've tried to fine me and I've ended up winning against them. And only one of those times they took it through the proper small claims procedure. And they seem to think that just sending stuff straight to the TEC, the Traffic Enforcement Centre, here we go, look. Calls to the CDER Group offices fell on deaf ears. They believe that just because the Traffic Enforcement Centre has got a room inside St Catherine's House in Northampton, which is the same building as the County Court Business Centre, where small claims tracks are processed, and some of you might know it as the bulk centre. And you can create a claim of your own if you've got a claim against somebody by going to moneyclaimonline.gov. I've got an account for moneyclaimonline.gov because I run my own business, and from time to time I have to use it. But they're trying to say that just because the TEC have got a room in the same building as the courts, that means that they're authorised and that they're the court, and that it's been through court processes when it hasn't. And I actually have a phone call from one of the times where CDER Group had started sending enforcement, and I'd called them up and they said, it's been through the court, you lost and the council won, which is a complete lie. Also, last week when I phoned up about this current matter, which I'll go to the video in a second, pardon me, CDER Group threatened locksmiths, which they can't do because it's a civil matter. And also, I record all the phone calls, and they started trying to say, so you're refusing to pay this, are you? Because they like to get a category of refusal to pay, because it means they can take their next steps. And I actually said to him repeatedly, I am more than happy to pay this fine when a judge orders me to. And they can't get a judge to order me to because they won't take it through the court, and I don't get the opportunity to defend myself. So they're acting as though they're judge, jury and executioner. Right, let's go to the film then and we'll watch this. Hopefully we'll be able to get the sound to work as well. I'm just going to rewind it to the beginning, and here we go. Hello mate, which one are you from?
I'm from CDER Group.
Is it Birmingham Caz?
Yes, correct, yeah.
Right, this is the situation.
Yeah.
The matter's in dispute.
Okay.
Right. Your office knows all about it. That's for me.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And there's nothing for you to take either.
Oh, okay.
They're saying I was inside. Which one is this? Is this inside the zone?
Yeah, correct, yeah.
Right. What they've done is they've got it in for me, right? Because there's been 4 times where they've claimed I was in their zone and I've proved them wrong.
Okay.
I told them they must take me to court, and all they've done is put it through the Traffic Enforcement Centre, which conveniently shares an office in St Catherine's House, but is not the court, right? Just like the toilet room in the building is not the court, the corridor is not the court, and the reception area in the court is not the court, right? So, they've circumvented taking it to court because they know that I'm right.
Okay.
I went from here, round the ring road to Sparkhill, and reversed the same journey, and they got me going round roundabouts on the ring road area, right? That's what they've said. I've told them that I wasn't in there. There's been loads of times when I forgot to put it on the computer and I've sent them 60 quids. There was 2 times when I sent them checks a couple of years ago. This is where it all started. I sent them 60 quid checks. I waited a couple of months and then they sent me bills for 180. So I said, hang on a second, I sent you checks. They didn't want the replacement 60 quid checks. No. So one of those, they did take me through the court with the proper small claims track, which is 3 numbers, 2 letters and 3 numbers.
Yeah.
The court sent me the proper papers to defend it like a small claim, because that's how it has to happen. Not just go to the TEC and issue a warrant of control that this hasn't had a judge next to it. The court wrote to me, I defended the claim. I sent the court another replacement 60 quid check because Birmingham Council kept sending it back. Okay. They said, we're throwing the matter out because we're not the ones to receive the money. Birmingham Council are the ones that have to receive the money. And then they threw it out. Birmingham Council embarrassed themselves. So I sent another £60 cheque to the bank, to the council. And then I heard nothing of it. They stopped pestering for me. The first time I caught them out was I'd been to, because obviously I'm a photographer, that's the sign. I'd photographed a wedding in Gretna Green. This will all be on your records as well, because there's loads of history with me and CDER Group because of Birmingham Council, because they're acting like pirates, right? And there's nobody there now. They've gone bust. If you drive around the flyover where the Aston fire station is, the building on the inside of that curve is all the Birmingham Council's transport department, and it's empty because they went bankrupt, which is why they had the bin men thing. Anyway, I was at Gretna Green at the top of Britain, England, photographing and filming a wedding, and they said that I was in Birmingham on the day when I was driving back, and that was where the hassle started. And that's why you're the 5th person from CDER Group, and I appreciate you're just doing your job, right? You're the 5th person from CDER Group that's been out to this house about this same matter, right? Okay. And they keep on circumventing going through the proper court, because I'm prepared to dispute and defend this with a real judge. And like I said to your offices last week and the week before, I am fully prepared to pay this fine when a judge tells me to, because the Traffic Enforcement Centre just go, yeah, go on then, we'll just sue guilty as charged, like they're judge, jury and executioner. And they're not telling you guys that the instrument that you're working on, the warrant of control, it might say St Catherine's House and the court address on it, but the court has never touched it. The only reference number on that warrant of control is the KW reference number, which is what the council generated for the parking fine or Caz charge fine, right? The small claims track, you can go and have a Google on them. I've got loads of them in there because I've got a moneyclaimonline.gov account, because I run a business, and when customers don't pay me when they cancel their wedding, and there's not much time left for me to try and resell the date, the contract says they have to pay me, I take people to small claims all the time. I'm about to do another one today, right? So you're doing your job, but they're not telling you that it hasn't gone through the court. They're telling you that it has. I've had phone calls with CDER Group that I've got recorded, because I'm making a case against CDER Group, where they've said to me, yes, it's been through the court, you lost and they won, when it hasn't. It's just been to the tech, and the tech just shares an office. Just if you imagine, if the Traffic Enforcement Centre had a building or an address somewhere else, that still would be the same level of power in justice. They still aren't court authorised. And the other thing is if I were to turn around and say that I refuse to pay this, you guys and the council cannot generate a CCJ, a county court judgment, because the court never got involved.
All I can say is, realistically, to stop people coming back to your property is probably
I'm still
disputed properly with the TEC.
Well, I'm disputing it with Birmingham Council because the TEC don't want to know. The TEC just go, no, guilty as charged, as though they're judge, jury and executioner, and there's been no trial in this, there's been no hearing.
So with the TEC, they can stop enforcement.
Yeah, well, that's probably, I'll get onto the bell to them as well today.
I'll
brilliant. Okay. I'll tell you what, right, I'll shake your hand. Sorry, I know I'm filming you and everything. But the thing is, right, is there's nothing to take. The doors are never going to be unlocked. Mine's a silver car there and it's on finance, so you can't touch it. They checked that last time and none of the other cars are mine.
But yeah, like I say, dispute it with the TEC and hopefully it stops all this.
Yeah. Because what the TEC need to do is they need to tell Birmingham Council that require of you means you have to do it in writing. I've written to the council and CDER Group have got copies of it as well.
Yeah.
So they all know, and if they just go, no, we're not going to do that, we're just going to go guilty, they think that they've got the authority. Well, they've got the power to send you out to talk to me about it, but they just haven't got enough power to go any further. And the last time I spoke to your guys last week, threatening to get a locksmith, which you cannot do. It's a civil matter. You cannot force entry.
On a civil matter, we can't do
exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like I say, dispute it with the TEC and hopefully get you somewhere.
Perfect. Okay. All right, mate. Yeah. No, thanks very much.
Yeah, thanks for your time.
And you, all the best, mate. Ta-ra.